The military promises to never leave a soldier behind on the battlefield. It is terrible to start a war without the desire to win. Therefore, let it be our nation's commitment that we will leave no veteran behind when they return home.
What's your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant.
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius.
Attacking armies require a mechanism to advance their soldiers. They must also cover those soldiers as they go forward. They most critically require firepower to breach any barriers in their path, hopefully wreaking havoc in the enemy's rear. And just as Tunguska-M are likely to become motherships for combat, they may also serve as centers for autonomous ground vehicles that may conduct various functions, including foresight and reconnaissance. Tanks won't go extinct, they'll simply evolve. And so we evolve with another tank in the battalion. Let's look through. Russian Low-Level Air Defense System 2S6 Tunguska, Western reporting name SA-19 or Grison. It was created to take the place of the 9K-31 Strela-1 and Strela-1M2 mobile surface-to-air missile systems and the ZSU-23-4 Shilka self-propelled anti-aircraft cannon. Without early notice, the ZSU-23-4 struggled to defeat modern ground attack aircraft like the US A-10 Thunderbolt II, which was built to withstand its 23mm ammunition. According to Soviet study, 30mm ammunition would be far more lethal. The Strela-1 was an outdated technology with doubtful performance by the early 1970s. The Tunguska, also known as the 2K-22, underwent development beginning in the middle of the 1970s, and the first prototypes were finished in 1980. Some sources claim that a German Gepard self-propelled anti-aircraft gun had a significant influence on the design of this weapon. The Soviet Army adopted the Tunguska in 1982, and delivery started that same year. Infantry formations that were motorized and mechanized used this air defense system. Its primary duty was to mitigate the threat presented by ground assault aircraft and low-flying attack helicopters from the west. There were apparently more than 250 of these systems in Russia by 2012. Therefore, there aren't many of these weapons in the country's arsenal. In 1957, work on the ZSU-23-4 Shilka started. In 1960, the first prototype was finished. It was first put into service with the Soviet Army in 1962 after thorough testing. Beginning in 1964, the ZSU-23-4 was put into production. 4 quad 23mm cannons are mounted on the ZSU-23-4 Shilka. It is a modified version of the ZU-23 anti-aircraft cannon that is pulled. 3,400 shots are fired each minute by the vehicle, the same rounds as the ZU-23 are fired by it. Target surveillance and tracking radar, as well as basic fire control system are installed on the Shilka. Depending on the target's height, its radar has a tracking range of 6 to 10 kilometers. The ZSU-23-4 took part in a variety of armed conflicts. It seemed like the vehicle was very efficient against ground targets. Only artillery shell splinters and small weapons fire are protected by the ZSU-23 Thin 4's armor. It has an NBC protection system installed. 4 people work on the vehicle: the commander, the gunner, the radar operator, and the driver. Russians view this system as a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun with supplemental missile armament, as indicated by the name 2S6. Each side of the Tunguska is equipped with 4 9M331 short-range surface-to-air missiles and 2 twin 30mm cannons. 8 missiles and 4 30mm guns overall are now available. In essence, the 30mm rapid-firing weapons are repurposed airplane cannons. The 4 30mm guns can fire a total of 5,000 rounds per minute. High-explosive tracer (HET) and high-explosive incendiary (HEI) cartridges are used in these firearms. Each gun has a service life of at least 8,000 rounds. The original Tunguska had 9M311 missiles installed. These have a blast fragmentation and semi-active radar-guided warhead. Once the missile is close to the warhead, a laser proximity fuse activates it. These missiles have a maximum 500 ms target engagement speed. The maximum range is 8 km. However, the highest altitude is only 3.5 km. The 9M311 missiles are effective against helicopters and low-flying aircraft. Compared to weapons which have an 80% hit probability, they have a 65% hit probability. The Kashtan Naval Air Defense System employs missiles similar to the 9M311K. An inferior export variant of the missile is the 9M311-1. While the Tunguska can fire its cannons while moving, it must be stationary in order to fire its missiles. The original Tunguska's radar detection range was 17 to 18 km, and its tracking range was 11 to 16 km. Since its debut, search radars have been utilized in no less than 4 different variations. An optical sight is used by the gunner to provide guidance. The system's reaction time is 10 seconds. A more advanced model with an enhanced firing control system is the 2S6M1 Tunguska-M1. It utilizes brand new 9M311M1 missiles and is built on a GM 5975 special track chassis. These have a 10-kilometer range. These missiles are more accurate and have better visual tracking. The radio proximity fuse took the place of the laser proximity fuse. These new weapons can shoot down cruise missiles and other tiny targets. The Tunguska-M1 is significantly more efficient than the Tunguska-M. This standard can be upgraded to fit all prior Tunguska. In 2003, the 2S6M1 was first used by the Russian Army. From 2012 to 2017, a total of 21 Tunguska-M1 systems were delivered. So that is all the time we have today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and do hit that bell icon on your way out. Till then, adios.